What do you do when she lets you down? Most people react with anger, frustration, or silence, but that's exactly what she expects. What if I told you there's a way to respond that will completely shift the dynamic and make her see you in a way she never has before? Stick around, because this one move can turn disappointment into your greatest advantage. 1. Why disappointment is a turning point. Disappointment is one of those moments that forces you to rethink everything. It can feel like a blow to your self-esteem, especially if you had high expectations for her. But here's the truth. Disappointment isn't an end. It's a beginning. It's a moment that tests your emotional strength and reveals how much control you truly have over yourself. When someone lets you down, your initial reaction might be to feel hurt or frustrated. You might want to lash out, demand explanations, or even cut her off entirely. These are natural impulses, but they often lead to more harm than good. Reacting impulsively might give you temporary satisfaction, but it doesn't solve the problem. Instead, it leaves you in a cycle of conflict and emotional imbalance. Instead, think of disappointment as a mirror. It reflects not only her actions, but also your own emotional resilience. How you handle this moment can redefine the dynamic between the two of you. When you choose to respond with calmness and acceptance, it sends a clear message. You're not someone who's controlled by your emotions. You're showing her that while her actions may have affected you, they don't define you. Disappointment also serves as a turning point for growth. It's an opportunity to evaluate whether this relationship aligns with your values and standards. It gives you the chance to set boundaries and decide what you will and won't accept moving forward. By treating disappointment as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, you gain clarity, confidence, and control. 2. The psychology of acceptance. Acceptance isn't just a passive reaction, it's a deeply empowering choice. When someone lets you down, your ability to accept the situation with grace can completely change the dynamic. But let's be clear, acceptance doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging what happened while choosing to rise above it. Here's what makes acceptance so powerful. It defies expectations. When she lets you down, she might anticipate anger, frustration, or even silence. But when you respond with calm understanding, it catches her off guard. She starts to see you as someone who's emotionally intelligent and capable of handling challenges with maturity. This kind of response isn't weak, it's incredibly strong. On a psychological level, acceptance forces her to reflect on her actions. If you react with anger, she'll focus on your reaction instead of her behavior. But when you stay calm and composed, it creates a space for self-reflection. She'll start to ask herself, why didn't he react the way I expected? Is he stronger than I thought? Did I underestimate him? Acceptance also shifts the focus back to you. It shows that you're in control of your emotions and your life. You're not letting her actions dictate your worth or happiness. This kind of emotional strength is rare and incredibly attractive. It sets you apart and leaves a lasting impression, one that makes her think twice about ever letting you down again. 3. How acceptance reverses the power dynamic. Power dynamics in relationships are often shaped by how we respond to conflict. When she lets you down, your reaction determines whether you maintain control or hand it over to her. Most people unknowingly give away their power by overreacting or trying to force an apology. But when you respond with acceptance, you flip the script. Let's break this down. When she expects you to be upset and you're not, it creates a sense of curiosity and even respect. She starts to wonder why you didn't react the way most people would. This curiosity draws her closer and shifts the dynamic in your favor. Instead of feeling like she's in control, she begins to question her own actions and their impact on you. Acceptance also shows emotional stability, which is a cornerstone of respect. People are naturally drawn to those who can remain calm under pressure. When you respond to disappointment with grace, you demonstrate that you're not easily shaken. You're showing her that while you care, you're not controlled by the situation. This reversal of power isn't about manipulation, it's about self-respect. You're setting a standard for how you expect to be treated without needing to demand it. She'll start to see you as someone who values themselves and isn't afraid to walk away if necessary. This kind of confidence and composure not only commands respect, but also deepens her admiration for you. The role of boundaries in acceptance. Many people confuse setting boundaries with being aggressive or rigid, but boundaries are actually an essential part of emotional health. When you accept disappointment and respond with calmness, you're also showing that you know your worth and are clear about what you will or won't tolerate in a relationship. Boundaries create an environment of mutual respect. They communicate that you value yourself enough to stand up for your needs while still being open to understanding the other person. Healthy boundaries ensure that both partners can grow and thrive without compromising their self-respect or happiness. Acceptance with boundaries. Many people mistakenly think that acceptance means passivity or that letting things slide means you're weak. But the truth is, acceptance is most powerful when paired with clear boundaries. Boundaries are what keep acceptance from turning into tolerance of bad behavior. They're the foundation of self-respect and healthy relationships. When she lets you down, it's important to communicate how her actions affected you, but without losing your composure. For example, instead of accusing her or blaming her, you could say, "I understand that things didn't go as planned, but it's important to me that we handle situations like this differently in the future." This approach is calm, respectful, and direct. Boundaries are a way of showing that while you're willing to forgive, you're not willing to accept repeated disrespect. They send the message that you value yourself and expect others to value you too. This isn't about being confrontational. It's about being clear and confident in what you deserve. Here's the thing. Boundaries don't just protect you, they also enhance her respect for you. When she sees that you're willing to stand up for yourself while still being understanding, it changes how she views you. You're no longer someone who's easily swayed or taken for granted. You're someone who knows their worth. 5. Why this approach leaves a lasting impression. Moments of conflict are defining moments in any relationship. How you handle disappointment can either strengthen your bond or weaken it. When you respond with anger or frustration, it leaves a negative imprint. But when you respond with calmness, acceptance, and respect, it creates a memory that stands out. This approach is so impactful because it's rare. Most people react impulsively, letting their emotions take control. When you rise above that and respond with grace, it's unforgettable. She'll remember how you made her feel, not judged, but respected. This doesn't mean excusing her behavior, it means handling it with maturity. What makes this approach even more powerful is its long-term impact. It doesn't just change how she sees you in the moment, it shifts how she views you overall. She starts to see you as someone who's emotionally strong, confident, and worth investing in. These qualities aren't just attractive, they're magnetic. And here's the ultimate benefit. By responding this way, you're not just improving your relationship with her, you're improving yourself. You're building emotional resilience, self-control, and a deeper sense of self-worth. This growth will serve you in every area of your life, making you not only a better partner, but also a stronger individual. 6. Why reacting calmly builds emotional trust. When someone lets you down, your response sets the tone for how they view you in the future. Reacting calmly in a moment of disappointment isn't just about keeping the peace, it's about building emotional trust. Trust isn't only about honesty, it's also about creating a sense of safety and stability in the relationship. Imagine this. She lets you down, and instead of blowing up or shutting down, you respond with calmness and understanding. This reaction shows her that you're not only mature, but also someone who can handle conflict without letting emotions spiral out of control. That kind of emotional stability creates trust because she knows she can rely on you to remain composed even in tough situations. When you react calmly, you also give her space to explain herself and take accountability. If you lash out, she's likely to become defensive or shut down completely. But when you approach the situation with a level head, it opens the door for honest communication. This kind of dialogue deepens the emotional connection and makes her feel more secure in the relationship. Calmness also communicates confidence. It shows her that you're in control of your emotions and that you're not easily rattled. This kind of confidence is incredibly attractive because it creates a sense of emotional safety, something everyone craves in a partner. Over time, this approach strengthens the bond between you and builds a foundation of trust that's hard to break. 7. The power of walking away gracefully. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. When someone repeatedly lets you down or crosses your boundaries, walking away gracefully can send a message louder than words ever could. This isn't about being cold or cutting them off. It's about showing them that you respect yourself enough to step back when the relationship isn't aligned with your values. Walking away gracefully means you're not leaving with anger, bitterness, or resentment. Instead, you're stepping back with dignity and self-respect. You're saying, "I value myself too much to stay in a situation where I'm not respected." This kind of response is incredibly powerful because it shows her that you're not afraid to put yourself first. Here's why this works. When you step away from a situation with grace, it communicates that you know your worth and won't settle for less than you deserve. Walking away gracefully. Walking away gracefully leaves a lasting impression. She'll remember how you handled the situation with maturity and strength, and it will make her question her own behavior. It creates space for her to reflect on what she's losing, and often that realization is more impactful than anything you could have said. But walking away isn't just for her, it's for you. It's a statement of self-worth and a commitment to your own happiness. It allows you to focus on building a life that aligns with your values, and in the process, you attract people who respect and appreciate you for who you are. 8. Why emotional independence is crucial. Emotional independence is one of the most underrated qualities in a relationship. It's the ability to maintain your sense of self-worth and happiness regardless of how someone else behaves. When she lets you down, your emotional independence is what keeps you grounded and prevents you from spiraling into insecurity or self-doubt. Think about it. If your emotional state depends entirely on how she treats you, you're giving her all the power. But when you're emotionally independent, you take that power back. You're showing her that while you care about the relationship, your happiness and self-worth aren't tied to her actions. This kind of independence is incredibly attractive because it creates a sense of balance and mutual respect. Emotional independence also allows you to respond to disappointment in a way that's calm and measured. Instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally, you're able to take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. This not only strengthens your own emotional resilience, but also creates a sense of stability in the relationship. When she sees that you're emotionally independent, it changes the way she views you. She starts to see you as someone who's confident, self-assured, and worth investing in. This kind of emotional strength isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. It draws people in and makes them want to be a part of your life. 9. Turning disappointment into growth. Every disappointment is an opportunity for growth. When she lets you down, it's easy to dwell on the negative and feel like you've been wronged. But what if you shifted your perspective? What if you saw disappointment as a chance to learn, grow, and become stronger? Disappointment forces you to confront your expectations, boundaries, and emotional resilience. It's a moment that challenges you to evaluate what you truly want and how you want to be treated. Instead of seeing it as a setback, see it as a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of yourself. Here's how you turn disappointment into growth. Start by reflecting on what happened and how it made you feel. Then ask yourself what you can learn from the situation. Did it reveal a pattern in the relationship that needs to be addressed? Did it show you something about yourself that you want to work on? Use these insights as fuel for personal development. When you approach disappointment with a growth mindset, it changes the way you experience it. Instead of feeling defeated, you feel empowered. You're no longer a victim of the situation. You're in control of how you respond and what you take away from it. This mindset not only helps you grow, but also makes you more resilient and confident in future relationships. 10. How acceptance sets you apart. In a world where conflict often leads to arguments and resentment, acceptance is a rare and powerful quality. When she lets you down and you respond with acceptance, it sets you apart from the crowd. It shows her that you're not just another person who reacts impulsively. You're someone who handles challenges with grace and maturity. Acceptance isn't about being passive or letting things slide. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. It's about understanding that while you can't change her actions, you can control how you respond. This kind of emotional intelligence is incredibly attractive because it demonstrates strength, confidence, and self-respect. When you respond with acceptance, it leaves a lasting impression. She'll remember how you made her feel in that moment, respected, understood, and valued. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means addressing it in a way that's calm, constructive, and respectful. What makes acceptance so impactful is that it's unexpected. Most people react to disappointment with frustration or anger, but when you respond with calmness and understanding, it catches her off guard. It makes her see you in a new light and deepens her respect for you. Over time, this approach strengthens the bond between you and creates a foundation of trust, respect, and admiration. Closing, thanks for watching. If this video gave you value, hit the like button and subscribe for more insights like this. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video.